guys, this is Frozen 2 Fanboy 2004 here, and welcome back to another movie review. After nearly a month of waiting for this movie to release in my country, well, ever since the US release date, I finally got a chance to see Nope in theaters yesterday. And Nope is the latest film from Jordan Peele, the horror mastermind behind Get Out and Us. And this movie stars Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, Stephen Yeun, and other actors who I don't really know about. The film tells the story of this group of people from California. Stephen Yeun being the only one who's not involved in the mission. They're investigating something in the cloud, something that's terrorizing the town, killing people, and well, it's an alien movie. I guess that's all I'll say. So yeah. As you all know, Jordan Peele is such an awesome director. He is such a mastermind behind horror. Get Out surprised a lot of people. To how good it was. We didn't really think Jordan Peele would be a great fit to direct horror movies, but turns out it is. And Get Out still remains to this day the best Jordan Peele film ever made. And as for Us, sadly, it doesn't really hold up on rewatch. I used to love Us, but now it doesn't hold up. Mainly due to some plot contrivances and some plot holes and a lot of issues. But yeah, it is definitely Jordan Peele's weakest film, but I still love it for the performances and the original story. After seeing Nope yesterday, I gotta say it was definitely worth the wait. This is definitely the best horror experience I've ever had, in my opinion. I mean, this really feels like it's made for the big screen. With I mean, it especially for Dolby Atmos. I mean, with all the sound effects and the music, whenever there is tension, suspense. I mean, watching this in the cinema will make you feel something from it. It's gonna make you feel terrified and it's gonna traumatize you. And yeah, and it goes loud every time there's this tension. It goes, yeah, it's really loud, and you can really feel that it is made for the big screen. Yeah, this one scene, but it can really solidify my love for the film. It's basically the scene in the trailers with the Daniel Kaluuya in a car, and he's there, and then trying to chase the clouds, and it was nighttime, so it's really suspense. Yeah, every time it's nighttime, that's when it gets really scary. So yeah, and also another thing I loved about Nope is that this isn't a jump scare type horror movie. It is exactly what a horror movie should be. It's something that's disturbing in its atmosphere, and it's able to scare you by narrative in a narrative way. Without using the jump scares. This is why I can't stand jump scares, because it just makes you think that you're really scared. But it doesn't really serve a purpose in the narrative. So yeah, and it really there are some scenes that really traumatized me. I won't say which ones. Just see for yourself. Although I'll just say a certain scene with people suffocating. That scene really traumatized me. So yeah. Although yes, there were two jump scares in the film, but the best way to describe these jump scares, it's kind of Stranger Things like mild jump scares, but not too heavy. So yeah, it's kind of like the jump scares in Stranger Things. So yeah, yeah, and as for some of the more important aspects of the film, which is the story and characters, the story is very original and very unique. It's a pretty complicated story, surprisingly, with a very when this has such a simple premise, but I think it is very smart, and it absolutely makes you think, and it makes you want to rewatch it. In fact, there is still some plot aspects I don't understand it, and not that it's the movie's fault, but it's just that I just need to revisit it. Hopefully, this doesn't take long to come out. I'm expecting it to come out by September, so I can rewatch it. Yeah. I also really like the characters and the performances. Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya is great as always. I mean, he's Daniel Kaluuya is such an underrated actor. He definitely deserves more love after this and Get Out. And I think he was very underrated in Black Panther. Despite that, it's not one of his best performances. But Keke Palmer, in my opinion, was the standout of the film. I mean, she really has this distinct charming energy to her, especially like in the beginning of the film, where like she really you can see that Keke Palmer is really enjoying her role. But when things get serious, Keke Palmer really gets serious with her acting, and you can already feel that you can really feel her arc and her character and yeah, her personality and her acting. Her I think this is Kiki Palmer's best performance yet. I haven't seen much from Kiki Palmer. I don't really remember much. I remember she was in Lightyear, and she was great. But even though I prefer Lightyear over, Nope, I do think Kiki Palmer gave a better performance in Nope in my opinion. And even as a character, Emerald Haywood is better than yeah, I'm sure you know what I mean, the one from Lightyear. So yeah, I remember when I walked out of Nope, I said that this was the best Jordan Peele film ever made, and but honestly, rethinking about it on reflection, I don't think it is the best Jordan Peele film, and I call this a perfect film back then, but honestly, it's not perfect, and which it is time for me to get to my flaws. I had I do have two issues, minor issues. So yeah, my first issue is that the beginning it is a pretty slow movie. The beginning of the film does drag and does get me worried that this wasn't gonna live up to the hype because I was kind of bored and I even saw my dad sleeping. Yeah, my dad fell asleep. Yeah, my dad actually hated the movie. Yeah, he's in the negative side of this divisive movie, and I am aware that this movie is divisive, but my dad didn't hate it. He said he'd rather watch Prey in theaters. Than this in and which by the way I never really mentioned that Prey should have been in theaters, which sucks. But another one of my bigger issues with the film is that I don't get the chimpanzees involved in the film. Like, not to spoil anything, but there's a subplot with the chimpanzees like murdering people like in one of the characters' flashback. I don't get how that connects to the film. It kind of feels like it could have been another how do I say this? Another film from Jordan Peele, like a movie about chimpanzees killing people. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the chimpanzees are actually the aliens. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much all my flaws. So overall, Nope absolutely lived up to the hype. It's not as good as Get Out, but definitely better than Us, and it is definitely the best horror experience I've ever had. And it's a film you should witness in the theater and not wait for it on digital because you're probably not gonna feel anything on digital. So yeah, and not to mention this is actually my brother's favorite horror movie of all time. I can totally see where he's coming from. But to me, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness would still be the best horror film, in my opinion. But although yeah, 2022 was the best year for horror films in general, in my opinion. So yeah, let's see what the future, what some of the other horror films later this year have in store. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give Nope a very high 9 out of 10. So that's my review of Nope. What is your opinion on the film? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos to come. There will be I do have some channel updates with the film, and as you can see, I actually went back to titling this just Nope movie review instead of just like a description of the film. I will explain why I'm doing this in the channel update video. And also, I was supposed to be doing a video on Wednesday. My channel if that's on Wednesday, but I just don't feel like doing it anymore. So yeah, if you want to see my thoughts on Wednesday, sure, check out my Instagram post about it. So yeah, bye guys.